Hello, it's me again, and I am going to be watching another episode of Modern Family. You know by now this is one of my favourite shows, especially when there is a surrogacy theme. So, we're going to be watching an episode together where Cam and Claire talk about the possibility of having a baby together. Let's jump right in and watch.
You didn't have to do this.
I sold a house today because of you two. The least I can do is buy you dinner.
I saw that house. It is gorgeous.
Yes, we're real happy for them.
They showed me a picture of the baby. How adorable is that little guy?
Yes, we're real happy for them.
Okay, you might want to slow down there.
When I'm playing a new drinking game, it's called Every Time I'm Depressed, I Take a Drink.
That game exists. It's called alcoholism.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'm wallowing and it's not cute. To happier things.
Yeah.
To happier things.
There you go.
Yes.
I remember the first few drinks, and after that, the night's just bits and pieces.
I want to do something I never do. Brag about my kids. Today, they were resourceful, they were responsible, they...
Put 40% down. It was worth showing the house 5 times and waiting.
Almost a year. Seriously, who do you have to...
Blow. It's really hot. Why don't you let it cool down and try some of the...
Mexican! The baby is clearly Mexican. So, you know, the swirl is out. Ugh. It's enough to make you lose.
Brag. Is this my 4th drink? Or is my 4th? I just said 4 twice, didn't I? Didn't I?
I think we're gonna need 4 cabs. Two! You made me!
I vaguely remember someone crying.
If we ever did surrogacy, I would want you to be the donor. You're so smart, you're so handsome.
This is where it starts to get fun.
Oh, baby, it should be you. You're so fun. You're so talented.
It's not fair. I love you both so much. If you could have a baby that was a mix of the two of you, I would love that baby so much.
Oh, that is so sweet.
I meant it.
That is so sweet. Oh my God, you guys, we could do this. We could do this. We could make a baby that is half Tucker and half Pritchett.
Are you saying what I think you're saying? Cloning?
No, I'm saying
Love cloning.
I give the egg. Oh. Yeah, I give the egg. That's the Pritchett side. And then Cam, you're the father, right? And then we just like mix it and put it in like a surrogate lady thing. And then
Surrogate lady thing. So this happens quite a lot. And we've had a few members that have gone down this route. And it's mainly used when you have generally a same-sex male couple and the person not providing the sperm may have a sister. And that sister will provide her eggs to be used to be fertilized by the husband or the partner of her brother. You with me so far? You following this? So, really important, and no clinic would ever do this anyway, but clearly creating an embryo from 2 genetic siblings ain't cool and illegal. So let's just see what happens next. Get ready.
and then bang, we have a baby.
Oh, are you serious?
You would do that.
Also, what's good about this, not only does this happen, is it is a really cool way for a family, especially anyone that's going through fertility treatment that doesn't have eggs or sperm. It does create that really wonderful connection between the parents or the recipients of the donor gametes, eggs or sperm, that child does share DNA of both of their parents. Now, just because the person, one of the people, isn't a provider, that child will still share elements of their DNA because that person has a sibling that's donated. So it's so wonderful that this can be done through the wonderful science of IVF. It's actually really common.
I would be honored. You guys, if there's one thing I have learned today, it's the pleasure of looking at your children and seeing both of you in there. And I want you to have that experience. Yeah.
Now, I have two children where I'm not genetically linked to one of them, and we have the uniqueness of the fact that our children don't share a genetic link. It doesn't bother us as a family. It's okay if you don't have this thread. It's brilliant and wonderful if it does, and if that's important to you, then great. But not everyone gets the luxury or the privilege of that. I don't. But I still see nuances of similarities between my two children that do not share any genetic material at all. So nurture is just as good as nature, in my opinion.
And something else. Guys, I make really good babies.
Yes.
I have like magic eggs or something. They're like golden.
Magic golden eggs. But it's important to consider the age of your donor, because in the UK, donors over the age of 35 cannot donate. But if it's a known donor, in this case, this would be a known donor, then there isn't really an upper age limit. You just need to understand the risks of someone donating their eggs that is over 35. You know, there are going to be fewer eggs. The quality does deteriorate, which is probably a bit more important as to potentially testing the embryos once they're created to see if they're normal or not, because we know that screening and genetically testing the embryos can reduce miscarriage, and that's important. Doesn't necessarily increase the live birth rate, but it can prevent miscarriage, which is obviously a good thing.
Oh gosh. Oh, Phil, I don't. What do you say about this?
I think we're all having a baby.
So, not a conversation to be had when you're all absolutely blind drunk, because they were a little bit, as you can see, they were a little bit tipsy. It's a very serious conversation and not one to be taken lightly.
Sweet potato fries.
What have I done?
I know.
Oh.
Hey, you two.
Oh, and they're still really happy, look. A beam.
So where are the kids?
Oh, Haley's driving them over separately.
Oh, big girl now.
Oh, that's great.
So that was so fun last night.
So
Yeah,
fun.
we had a great night.
Yes.
We should get
I know.
that.
Jinx. Yeah, we're going this way.
50 for 30.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. That looks delicious.
I cannot tell them. I cannot break their hearts.
So you're gonna have camps, baby, just to keep things from being weird?
What? You and Uncle Cam are having a baby?
Kids, shh. There was a discussion about the possibility of your mom donating an egg so that the guys could have a baby.
But we decided it was not a good idea.
Why? Because Lily's such a mess?
For a lot of reasons. They have
But we can agree that she's a disaster as a human being. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, it's a really beautiful offer, Mom. I'm impressed.
Oh my God, Cam. They told the kids already and they seem to be totally into it. All right, is it just me? Am I the only one that thinks this is weird?
Maybe it's not weird. Maybe we're pioneers.
No, we're hardly pioneers. You have 3 different hair dryers for different types of weather.
Maybe it's just gonna take some time to get used to the idea.
Isn't it enough this family spends a lot of time together? Now we have to inbreed.
Okay, Dad, it's not technically inbreeding.
And that's the misconception with this. This is not incest. This is not creating an inbred child. This is very different to that. There is no genetic clash here between the sperm provider and the egg provider. They are using the opposite, the brother-in-law rather than the brother.
For the record, I think what my mom is doing is very brave.
I think it's also really cool.
I like it. I've always kind of wanted a half-brother, half-cousin.
Really? Always.
That's the risk. It's how you are armed and how you equip any children that are involved in this. So siblings definitely need to be aware of this process, and explain what that means to your own children if you're a donor, because you do need to consider how they're going to take it, and you want them on board.
Well, I mean, if you
It's
think
not-
about it,
it's
you're
not-
a
I
half-brother.
disagree with you about inbreeding, young lady. I would like to make a strong presentation. If everyone can, once the neighbors find out, they will.
When was the last time we talked under a table?
Dad and Gloria's wedding reception.
Oh, yeah. I love you. You know that. But I can't do this.
No, neither can I.
Really? Are you serious? You can't. Oh, God.
The irony of this part is that they're under a table. And a lot of the advice that you get when you have a donor-conceived child is when you're talking about their history, how they were created, where's their genetic link from, you don't make this a sit-down at the table conversation. This is not to be treated as if this is a big deal. This is, let's normalize this. Let's usualize this topic. Let's not create this. You know, you get your family to sit down at the table. That's big news. That's going to create some anxiety. That's going to create, for that person, oh my God, this is huge. What are they telling me? This is going to rock my world. Well, you know, from my experience, the way we told our children and the way they asked, it was not a big deal to them, and still isn't a big deal to them today where their genetic makeup has come from. The fact that we have been open and honest from as early as we can with them is a good thing. But with this clip, donating is really serious, and you have to be sober. You have to be in the right mindset, and you have to be doing this for the right reasons. If you are donating to a sibling or to a friend or to anyone, then the method and the moral of this particular clip is to make sure you do your research, that you are using a reputable clinic or bank, and that you understand the consequences to you, your siblings, your children, and any children born from your donation. That would be my takeaway for this little clip. It's great. I love the way it usualises the topic of surrogacy and egg donation and siblings getting involved. But we have to do it sensibly. Right then, so what I need you to do is to like, click, subscribe, click that little bell thing up here or down here, wherever will it be. I am just told to say that. And of all else, keep these comments down below kind and civil. There are people that might read this that might be donor conceived or that might be exploring surrogacy or egg donation or sperm donation. Let's keep this a nice, civil, safe place to be. See you soon. Take care. Bye.